I'm super excited to announce that I am going to be a speaker at an all-girls teen night. So I want to share with you guys some of the topics that I'm going to be talking about. That way you can share these with your teenage daughter who won't be able to make it, and you can kind of decide what to talk about with your teenage daughters yourselves based off of what I'm going to speak about. Let's talk about sex, health, and self-respect. On the topic of health, let's talk about periods. You need to recognize your normal. So you need to know if you're a light, medium, heavy bleeder, if you're going to have light, moderate to excruciating cramps, if your period only lasts 2 days to 7 days, all those things surrounding periods. Checkups. You should be going to get STD tested if you're sexually active. You need to be going to get your vagina examined. Mostly they're looking at pap smears to make sure that your cervix is right, your uterus is right, all your reproductive organs are intact, there's nothing abnormal. Your discharge is normal, your odor is normal, things like that. I would prep my teenager to let them know, like, your doctor is going to look at your vagina so that they're not taken aback by this examination. And then lastly, physicals. Full body physicals, just to make sure everything's working right and you're in good health for your age. Lastly, on health, we're going to talk about self-care. So making sure you do your daily hygiene, brushing your teeth, washing your face, bathing your body. Everyone needs to get sleep, but especially teens. You're growing a lot, you're developing a lot, your emotions are heightened during this time, so you need to prioritize getting sleep. And though us as adults might feel like teenagers shouldn't have a lot of stress because all you're doing is going to school and you might be working a little bit, you can't tell someone what dictates them having stress. So they need to learn how to manage their stress and talk about their stress. The next topic is going to be sex. First, I want to start by saying the word sex should not be a taboo word. We shouldn't shy away from it. We shouldn't turn our head. We shouldn't feel insecure when the word is said. And that is why the first thing that I'm going to talk about is intercourse. If you can do it, you can talk about it. The next topic is consent. It's your choice. You can choose to say no at any time. So even if you started in the beginning saying yes, you can say no, whether it's during, before, towards the end, whatever that looks like for you, you are allowed to say no, and sex should stop immediately, or any kind of physical contact. And also, don't believe the narrative that just because you dress a certain type of way means you're, quote, asking for it. That's absolutely no. Unless you are asking for it, you're not asking for it. The answer is no if you want to say no. Birth control, if you need some, ask for some. I know a lot of young women are hesitant to bring up the conversation of birth control because maybe they don't want people to know they're having sex, or they don't want their parents to think they're having a lot of sex. It doesn't matter. If you need some, it's better to protect yourself from pregnancy if you're not ready. For whatever reason that may look like for you, ask for birth control by an adult that you trust. STDs, especially for our young ladies, you need to know that you are responsible for your own protection. You are allowed to bring condoms too for the male, and there's also female condoms. And then even recognizing that condoms can rip, tear, come off, so you're not always 100% protected, but it's best that you do bring your own protection. When it comes to pregnancy, young women need to know that if you have started having periods, you can get pregnant. It doesn't matter if you're 11, 12, 13, you can get pregnant. And then abortion, your body, your choice. I know there's a controversy between state laws at this time, so I won't get too much into that. But just know that having an abortion will affect you in some way, shape, or form, whether that's physical, emotional, mental, health, all those things. But it's still, at the end of the day, your choice to make. If you're underage, though, it can be your parents' decision to make for you. So keep that in mind when you're having unprotected sex and you're putting yourself at risk for pregnancy. We have to touch on self-respect. Number one, suicidal threats are a form of manipulation. There are some times in relationships where a partner will say, well, I'm going to kill myself if you leave. That is manipulation. Don't trust that. Call help for them, but do not feel like you have to stay with them because you don't want to feel held accountable if they do something to themselves. It's not your job to keep someone alive. All you can do is get help for them. Domestic violence. I know we have the narrative of tough love is love, but in relationships, tough love does not equal love. No one should be putting their hands on you in any way, shape, or form, period. When it comes to the digital age and era that we're in, just know sending illicit photos and videos that your digital footprint is forever. You don't know how these will resurface. You don't know who they'll be sent to. So I wouldn't recommend sending any videos or pictures to friends, boyfriends, posting them on social media, anything like that. And then lastly, know your worth. It's okay to say no, and you need to know how to recognize red flags when it comes to friendships and relationships. I want to put a star by knowing your worth because that's going to set the standard for the way that you walk through life. When it comes to jobs, relationships, friendships, anything like that, you're not going to accept less than what you're worth if you know what you're worth. And then after we finish up with all the heavy, we always have to hit the topic of love because I don't want young women to think that love is not a real thing. Love is an amazing experience when you get to experience it, especially experiencing it in a healthy way. So always protect your peace. Always love yourself first. Make sure you're using words of affirmation daily when you're brushing your teeth and washing your face. You say, I am beautiful, I am strong, I am kind, I am worth it, whatever those words look like for you. And know that love doesn't always have to be this intense feeling, but it should feel safe. So I know that when you find a person and they're kind of boring or they're chill or you don't feel that spark that people like to say, you may feel like, well, this isn't the person for me. But sometimes you need to be with that person that just simply makes you feel safe and makes you feel loved. They don't have to have sparks flying every single day. As long as you feel something for them and you feel protected and you feel secure, sometimes that's truly what love is all about, despite some of the things that we feel like we should feel. And then on the back of the handout that I'm going to give these young ladies, I just want to let them know that these responses that they're going to give are going to be anonymous, no names, no judgment, just honesty. So if they would like, I would like them to do a little self-reflection by answering one of these questions. The questions are, what is one boundary you want to get better at? Does love in your life feel safe, even if that's friends, families, relationships, whatever? What do you like about yourself that has nothing to do with looks? And then what does your future look like when it comes to family, kids, career, etc.? I just want them to share with me when they envision the future, what that looks like for them. And then I allowed them an opportunity to ask me some questions. Of course, it's anonymous. I'm hopeful that they will respond and ask questions. That way we can share with the group what other young women are thinking or wondering. Because, sometimes someone's too shy to ask a question, but somebody might ask the same question you have in your head. So I'm hoping to pull a little bit out of them during this conversation. So I'm super excited for this opportunity. I hope that we're able to have some good, healthy, open, honest conversations.